Hello Internet, welcome back to another episode of Bazzle Spot Live. We are here again with a VGC 19 version of my VGC 16 team, which has been going quite average so far, as I suppose you could expect, really. I mean, we're using a regular Rayquaza, so it's not going that well. But I mean, I don't know. We've split the games even, haven't we? So far this week, we've gone 2 wins, 2 losses. So can't complain too much. I mean, my goal really is to finish still in the 1,700s this week, as you find someone from Japan straight away. But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that we've won the 2 games that we have, to be honest. But I don't know. I mean, hopefully you saw in yesterday's video as well. Just a kind of showcase of the downsides of Rayquaza, when we would have won the last game if our Rayquaza could literally do like 30% or so to a Kyogre, and it just couldn't. So yeah, it's not a great showing, but maybe we'll get to use Rayquaza in this game because he has got a Chlorophyll Abuser. He's also got an Amoonguss, which we can hit with our wonderful Air Slash. So yeah, I mean, this isn't a super serious team by any means. I am using a regular Rayquaza, but I just wanted to see if my VGC 16 team could do anything, basically. We're going to go with Smeargle Xerneas. We're definitely going to go with Volcarona and Rayquaza in the back too. Scrafty would be good here, but he's got his Xerneas as well, which our Volcarona can kind of keep in line with Red Card and Whirlwind. And I think we do, yeah, we want the Rayquaza because he has got 2 grass types. Outspeeds Smeargle as well, can threaten that. Outspeeds and threatens the Groudon as well. So, yeah, maybe out of any of these things, it's the Incineroar that we're going to be most worried about. But, yeah, we'll see what goes. Fingers crossed we can, pick up a win. Be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, so as I've been saying this week, my videos now will be just 2 battles in the video, just because I think you've been enjoying the daily uploads, so it keeps it coming. Keeps the stress off of me a little bit too, because here we go. There's the monkey lead, as the Japanese used to call it, in 16 against each other. But yeah, daily uploads. Hope you've been enjoying it, and this just 2 battles each video makes it a lot more manageable for me as well too. So again, we're going to go for the fake out into Smeargle and try and Geomancy. So, yep. Smeargle flinches, so it was either going to go for a follow me or his own fake out, probably. Not many Smeargle are actually Scarfed. And, okay, yep, he is going to be Geomancing himself, but I'm okay with that because I've got Volcarona back. Now, after yesterday's game, and I have seen it a few times on Showdown as well, people using Feint on the Smeargle, as you saw yesterday, they anticipated very nicely my Volcarona coming in, used Feint on that slot to activate the red card. In fact, I'm pretty sure that happened at Worlds in 16. I was playing one of the Japanese players. Can't remember which one it was though. At Worlds Day 2 in 16, I played one of the finalists of the year before and one of the top 4 of the year before, I think, and beat both of them. But I'm pretty sure one of them made the red card call in the game, and obviously, totally respect it. It's a fantastic move to make, but not so good for me. So I'm giving the Moonblast into the Smeargle because he could have Wide Guard, and I'm kind of expecting him to Dazzling Gleam. Hopefully he Dazzling Gleams, because then he'll get red carded, ejected out into something, and I will get to keep my boosts. So this is exactly why I did go for a Moonblast, just because a Wide Guard into a Dazzling Gleam rather into a Wide Guard. Okay, all this information coming into my head. A Dazzling Gleam into the Wide Guard means that the Smeargle is around for another turn, which is not very good. We saw his Xerneas go first there, which means that there is a speed tie there between these 2 Xerneases. So his Xerneas is timid max speed as well, which don't really, in 16 didn't really tend to expect. I was the only guy running timid max speed Xerneas, but seems to be a bit more of a thing this year. We've used our red card now though, so I'm kind of expecting a Groudon to come in here. Yeah, it does. Because he will have his Chlorophyll boost now, but we have got Rayquaza in the back. The worry though is if well, how safely do we want to play this? Because Xerneas will outspeed his Groudon here. His Xerneas in the back is still a threat. Like, absolutely still a threat. Just because I've red carded it out doesn't mean it's not. Rayquaza's not that good against it. So do I protect the Xerneas and try and overheat into the Venusaur? Because that really goes wrong if he sleep powders into Volcarona. But I think I'll do it. I think it's super predictable. I don't think there's anything aside from like a substitute on Groudon that he can do to punish this. But the Xerneas is the threat. So, ooh, he made the call. Well, there we go. It might be a Focus Sash on Venusaur, it's not. And if Volcarona goes down now, then I'm fine with that because I do get a free switch back into something there. So, yeah, okay. So, he made the call there. I didn't need to protect the Xerneas. He did make a nice call, but that is... Okay, thank you, Volcarona. I appreciate your willingness to stay in this battle, but I kind of wanted you to go down there. I've completely forgotten what I was saying now. But yeah, he made a nice call. But that is Sleep Powder. You know, I've been burnt by Sleep Powder once. I used Sleep Powder with Wide Lens in German nationals in 2014 and missed so many of my Sleep Powders. I was not happy. So I have zero sympathy for anyone using Sleep Powder and missing their moves. So there you go. I guess we Moonblast into the Groudon, I think. But what do we do with Volcarona? Like, do we switch it into something? No, we'll just go for an Overheat into the Xerneas. And Moonblast into the Groudon. If Groudon protects and Xerneas knocks out Volcarona, fine. It's not an issue. Oh, he's just forfeited the game. Yeah, that Sleep Powder was too much for him. I'm just thinking if there was any ways that he could have come back into that. Like if he protected the Groudon on the Moonblast and maybe tried to Geomancy, then like the next turn, I would have had to have targeted into his Xerneas before he got the boosts with a Moonblast and an Overheat. I don't think there's any way he could have won that game from there. He made a nice call with the Sleep Powder, but even if you make the perfect prediction with Sleep Powder, there's still only a 75% chance of it actually working. So that guy's just found that out. So there you go. So that was a reasonably quick game, wasn't it? So let's look for one more. And by the way that this week has been going so far, as we find another guy with a pretty decent rating, actually. As the week has been going so far, we have been winning the first game and losing the second game. So maybe we're, we're bound to lose this one, aren't we? Surely, but I don't know. This is interesting again because he's got Bronzong. He has got again Chlorophyll with his Venusaur and Groudon, but he's got Coca, so I can't freely spore things. But I do feel quite comfortable just going with Smeargle's Xerneas again. I think. What if he leads Groudon and Venusaur? That wouldn't be too good, would it? So then maybe I protect and switch in Rayquaza. Okay, so we'll go with Smeargle's Xerneas. We definitely want Rayquaza here. And now I'm a little bit torn because we haven't actually used Scrafty really all this week, have we? And it does look okay here, but again, he has got... Yeah, I got to go with Volcarona. He's got his own Xerneas, so I want to make sure, I've got Red Guard and Wide and Whirlwind and all that kind of stuff for it. He has got the Bronzong and Volcarona and Venusaur as well, if I can name Pokemon correctly, which Overheat does threaten as well. So, although Scrafty, the Intimidate would have been nice for his Groudon, I think we should be okay against his Groudon, and it's, the Xerneas and the Bronzong maybe that are the bigger threats. And the Venusaur as well. So if he leads with Bronzong here, that would be interesting. No, it's just Coco and Groudon. Alright. So how do we want to go about this then? I think Smeargle Fake Out goes for a Fake Out here. And I think a Geomancy. Tapu Koko probably has Taunt. But Xerneas will be eating a Precipice Blades, which it doesn't really appreciate. Okay, so we will go for a Fake Out into Tapu Koko. Just like if I transform into some, if I transform to his Groudon, I'd be a Scarf Groudon. That would threaten his Koko, wouldn't it? In fact, that play doesn't seem too bad, does it really? But I'm committed to this now. Okay. Ooh, okay. So we've got a Geomancy, but at what cost? But now we're locked into Fake Out. So if he led with Bronzong, I would have gone for a switcheroo into it. That was my one of my favourite tricks from 16. So we've got a Geomancy, and we've not brought our Scrafty either, because if we did bring Scrafty, an Intimidate would allow Xerneas to survive a Gyro Ball, but I think he's probably actually just going to be going for a Trick Room this turn. So I'm going to switch Smeargle into Volcarona. Yeah, this is looking bad already, isn't it? So I guess we needed Scrafty here. Yeah, we definitely wanted Scrafty here. In fact, the Tapu Koko, I don't think we want the Tapu Koko to go down, but so we'll go for a Moonblast into Bronzong. Ooh, Bronzong protects. Well, that's strange, because the obvious play is to just Moonblast into the, or Dazzling Leaf, or Moonblast into the Koko there, isn't it? So his Volt Switching is not Volt Switching because, well, he's getting ejected out, so he's switching into something, just he can't pick what it is. And he was probably going to be going into Groudon anyway, okay. So, I don't think that's the end of the world for us. I do think this is a heat-proof Bronzong, though. Now, I've got options. Moonblast maybe doesn't knock out Groudon if it's invested, but I think that is a... I do think that is a heat-proof Bronzong. So do I double into it with attacks? Or do I try and Whirlwind it? We are in Sun. I'm going to try attacking it, because I'm just worried that if I try and Whirlwind it, if the Groudon doesn't protect, a Precipice Blades might knock out the Volcarona. But he's switching his Groudon out again, anticipating a Moonblast, I guess. So this is telling me maybe his Be Strong Volcarona. I should have Whirlwinded, shouldn't I? Be Strong Volcarona. We are in the Sun. Nice. Nice one, Volcarona. Good. Yeah, so that tells me that his Groudon is maybe Choice Banded, because he was fearing a Moonblast from my Xerneas there, as you would in that situation, and he couldn't protect it. So I think that's a Choice Banded Groudon. So now what do we do? Because the game is not over at all. Like, we've denied Trick Room, fantastic, but this is still tricky. Maybe we sacrifice Volcarona here and protect Xerneas. Yeah, I'm going to overheat into the Groudon and protect Xerneas here, because if Volcarona does get to attack, it will put the Groudon in overheat range, in Moonblast range, rather. So there's Volt Switching, fair enough, into the Volcarona. They shouldn't knock it out, yeah. I was just thinking if like he had Thunder, or, I mean, you wouldn't, would he, on this team? Or just Thunderbolt, maybe, if that could knock Volcarona out. That's why I was thinking we might not get this overheat off, but Volcarona should be faster than this Groudon because it does look like a bulky Trick Room one. But, ooh, is brought Incineroar. So as long as we hit this overheat, I think we should be okay, because I will have to bring Smeargle in then and fake out his Incineroar. So overheat does connect. Does a decent chunk of damage, actually. And these Sword Stances, it's not... Okay, well, there's my assumptions out the window completely. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, that's not good, is it? So now he has to fake out the Xerneas, doesn't he? Because I've literally just protected. I was expecting Volcarona to go down there. So, okay, so he fakes out Xerneas and Precipice Blades. He has to fake out Xerneas and Precipice Blades. So, I'm going to just overheat into the Groudon again and switch Xerneas into Rayquaza. Rayquaza will be losing its Sash, but I'd much rather preserve Xerneas than, preserve the Sash on Rayquaza. So overheat again in the sun. I mean, this is going to do decent damage again to the Groudon, yeah. So maybe it's a 50% berry then. And Volcarona should finally go down here. But he has still got his Tapu Koko in the back. Because I think I do bring Smeargle in here. I'm just worried about that being a 50% berry on Groudon. If I put Smeargle in, then that invites his Koko in for the Incineroar slot, doesn't it? A Moonblast may well knock out Groudon from where it is. But I think what we do here is now we transform into his Groudon and go for an Air Slash into his Groudon. Because if Air Slash doesn't knock Groudon out, which I don't think it will, there is still a flinch chance. And if we can get our own +2 Groudon Scarfed against Incineroar, Groudon, and Koko, then we're looking okay. Oh, he withdraws the Groudon. Is the Incineroar U-turning then? I thought the Koko would come in for the Incineroar because the Spore is obvious. Maybe he thought I was going to transform then. Maybe he called that. So that's some decent damage on the Koko actually, isn't it? And a knockoff into the Rayquaza. So now we'll see what moves his Koko has got. It has got Grass Knot. I was wondering if it had a way to touch the Groudon. But now his Koko is the threat. Now his Koko is, and Incineroar actually, they're both big threats. But I'm tempted to lock into Discharge, to be honest. Grass Knot's not going to do anything to Tapu Koko, is it? And I don't think I want to Volt Switch into my Xerneas. So we're getting a Discharge onto both of his Pokemon here. We will be faster because we're Scarfed. For this turn, he might be knocking off my Smeargle. But Tapu Koko hopefully is going to be... Ooh, I'm saying hopefully going to be in extreme speed range. He Volt Switches into the Rayquaza. Okay. And, ooh, Capture Guard's going funny. And a Flare Blitz into Smeargle. Okay. So, ooh. Okay, so we've got Xerneas in the back. Which I think is okay against his Groudon. He knows that I'm locked into Discharge now. So I think he will switch one of them into his thingy. So I'm going to switch my Smeargle into thingy. Xerneas, and extreme speed. Oh, are we any minuses? We're not. And just go for an extreme speed into Tapu Koko. I think, yeah, my capture card's going a bit funny now, so apologies about this. I think if any of them switches into his Groudon, I think it might be the Koko, but the Koko is the one that's threatening the Xerneas more, so... Oh, it's the Incineroar that's switching out. So if this extreme speed knocks out Tapu Koko, then I'm happy. So please be strong, Rayquaza. Rayquaza, if I can see your name right. It's just protected, okay. Okay. So now again we are in an interesting position. Because I can extreme speed the Koko again, but he can bring the Incineroar in for the Groudon for the Intimidate. And we're not making our moves very quick, are we? So I think I do... Oh, I mean, what's the... I'm going to go for a Dazzling Gleam. And an extreme speed into the Koko. A Dazzling Gleam's not going to knock out the Groudon, but Xerneas can take one Precipice Blades. Maybe he's Volt Switching here then. But I'm surprised he didn't bring in the Incineroar for the Intimidate. Maybe he thinks he can survive this. He can't, thankfully. Ooh, so extreme speed, strong stuff. Good stuff there. And we've still got Smeargle in the back, haven't we? We do indeed. Okay. So, Groudon could potentially Sword Stance. That would be a punish, maybe. So I am just going to Moonblast into the Groudon. If he fakes out the Rayquaza, then he should be losing his Incineroar, unless this is Assault Vested. So Incineroar does go for a fake out into the Xerneas. Fair enough. We'll see if this does knock out the Incineroar. It does. Nice one. Rayquaza, critical hit. I don't care. Rayquaza has been fantastic in this game. And a Rock Slide too. Okay. Wow. This has been quite some game. Yeah, he was rated quite highly, wasn't he? He was actually a slightly higher rating than me, so... Yeah, wow. That was a good game. That was a good game. Now we can put Smeargle in. And basically choose how we want to win this game. We can go for a Fake Out and Moonblast, or we can go for a Moonblast and... well, we have to Moonblast here. Or, you know, Transform, or... I mean, I think the safer way is just to Spore here. Because the Electric Train has gone. Fake Out, he can just Protect on. If we transform into our Xerneas, a double Precipice Blade critical hit could knock both of our Pokemon out. So Spore is the safer option there, definitely. So, wow, Rayquaza actually was pretty good in that game. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with Rayquaza. In that game, especially. Not in general. Not regular Rayquaza. Sorry, Rayquaza. But that was brilliant, actually. So, you know, thanks a lot for watching these, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this. Please join me again tomorrow for another episode of Bazzle Spot with this team once again. So, you know, it's been going okay, hasn't it, this week so far? So, thanks, and see you then. Bye for now.